All right, so today I'm going to try some techniques with some white ultra thread for chironomids. I guess you could use these techniques for other patterns as well. I know that a lot of people with chironomids, they do this really amazing, wonderful thread blending. And I'm just going to show you a different way if it's easier for you and you don't want to try the attempt with the thread blending. I want to try a technique with some different markers, and maybe you've seen this before, maybe not, don't know. Anyway, the pattern itself doesn't really matter today. I'll just kind of throw some things together here just to kind of make sure you can see this technique. One little quick thing I'm going to do here is something I've been trying, not 100% certain whether or not it matters or not, but in order to kind of keep this bead in place, I know this really matters with like jig leeches, I've started throwing some lead in here. It kind of builds that kind of taper up a little bit. And then I'll just helicopter that off. Nothing wrong with a little extra weight up there as well. And it kind of helps with the taper of the fly. So I'm gonna just do a little taper here, which for the chironomids you've probably seen umpteen gazillion times. But I'll just go ahead and do it as well here. Okay. Not too concerned about this particular aspect of this fly right now. And then I think today I'm gonna do a couple of different ribbings. I'm going to use a silky red hollow. Really love this stuff. It's pretty thin, so I'll throw that on right now. Again, just kind of perfect opportunity to work that taper a little bit more. Again, not too concerned, but you know, old habits. Kind of want to do that just to show. Still want the end product to look somewhat decent. I'll throw that silky on the side there. And then I'm going to use some Flashaboo gunmetal. It's that perfect kind of blend of just about that time that, you know, the chironomids are starting to think about building up those gases. That gunmetal is a really, really great, you know, color. So, okay. And I'm just going to bring these back. This is a fire hole, or like a fire stick, size 16. And I kind of, with these, I like to go down the bend of the hook a little bit. It just gives that little bit of curve right there for this chironomid. Go underneath a couple little times here, behind the ribbing. And now I'm going to bring this thread forward. A little bit of taper again. Okay, and there. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you what you can do with these markers. I have these Pantone markers, which I know some of you have seen before, or maybe you haven't. I really like them. I've been using this same set of Pantone markers for probably, I don't know, over 15 years, maybe 20 now. Anyway, so now what I'm going to come in here is with this red I have here. I'm just going to come in and color that back. We've seen a lot of those chironomids have had that like red kind of back here. So I'm just going to make sure that tail end is red. And now just to show you what you could do, like I'm just going to take this green now, and I'm just going to dot some green up here. And you can see kind of already you get this kind of perfect little blending of colors. As well, but let's say that I want a little bit of orange in there as well. So maybe I can come in with a little bit of orange here at the head, which I'm gonna do here later on. But you're like, oh shoot, maybe I want a little bit of olive in here, so I can dab some olive in there as well. And then ultimately, you can even, if you want, you can do black. And in this particular fly, I'm just gonna go just to show you what this blending can look like. You can have this kind of multicolored chironomid. I want to kind of have this fly, this particular time I want it to be a little darker. I'm gonna come in with the black. Again, this is not the process I would have gone through if I was gonna be tying, you know, a specific pattern, but I'm just showing you these techniques right now. So I'm gonna come in there with a little black. Now I'm gonna bring my rib forward, and in this case I don't know how much it matters which rib comes forward. I'm just going to find out which one of these is on top here, and I'll start with that one. Looks like the red is kind of more on top, and I'm going to do my ribbing. And now this is an interesting thing. I know a lot of guys are going to tell you to work really hard to do that 7 ribs, because the naturals do have those kind of 7 body segments if you look at them and you count them. And I imagine that there's times where, yeah, maybe that matters. I am in the ball camp of I don't really believe it matters. This is me. But, you know, maybe this 7-ribbed Chironomid was getting chomped, but the 6-ribbed Chironomid wasn't, and you had this situation of your evidence, and it's like, I'm gonna go with that. But no matter how hard we try to recreate the originals perfectly, there's always that one little factor that I think we sometimes forget as fly tyers is that if they can count 7 ribs on a Chironomid, they can also see that hook. And as we all know, the naturals do not have a hook in them. So sometimes we kind of get in our own way. I'm coming through with this this gunmetal here. I'm just going in between the other ribs. This is a great early kind of part of a hatch when the Chironomids are just starting to chrome up a little bit. They're kind of, you know, just getting those first little gases there. This makes a great rib for that. Just starting to shine up a little bit. Okay, and now I'll just make sure that that is good. And I'm gonna build up a little bit of the white here so that I can come in with one last marker. I'll do a quick little whip finish, do the little hand whip finish here. And I use the hand whip finish because this is what I learned to do, and I still do it. Works fairly effective for me. There's situations where it would be better to use a regular whip finisher. And then I'll just snip that off. And now I'll come back in with that orange marker that I showed before, and I'm just going to color that in. And it kind of, you know, simulates kind of that little hot spot on there. Get that little bit of orange there. Maybe it's those gills, so we can do that. That's kind of nice. I know, again, threading, you know, blending threads together, and you use then multiple different threads to kind of create this same thing, and that works absolutely 100%. And for some people who get good at it, it's probably even quicker than tracking down the markers. But again, this is just one more little technique that you could use here. Blend that in with my bobbin. And there we go. Finish that off. And there you have it. It's got multiple different colors in there. If you want to, just a little technique. This particular pattern is great. As I said, I've got lots of fish on this kind of blending of the 2 different ribbings together. But again, I just kind of more wanted to show you how you could use those markers to create kind of whatever colors you want. If you have enough markers, I think I've got, you know, 5 or 6 different colors. All right, thanks for watching.